Hello, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts Shipyard Champions. This week I'm the one who issued the challenge, so I'm just gonna go to the Discord and read it out for you, because I don't remember it off the top of my head. Big trouble in China. Greetings, Admirals. Trouble is brewing off the coast of China, and you need to assemble the task force to deal with it. However, the budget is tight, again, and the government wants you to be as cost-effective as possible. China is also rather far away, so your ships will need sufficient operational range. To make matters worse, submarines have been reported along your route there, so your task force will need enough escorts to get there in one piece. So this challenge can be played either in vanilla or unmodded Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, or with the Naval Arms Race mod, or NAR for short. Difficulty should be more or less the same in both cases. Budget in year will vary slightly, as NAR does change some costs and research years and so forth. So basically what I did is, we're gonna fight share designs, by the way. I made the vanilla designs first, and then tried to recreate them in Naval Arms Race. And I found that, yeah, I couldn't do it in 1915 in Naval Arms Race and make it the same, so I had to bump it up to 1917. But it should be more or less the same. So, general settings. Enemy nation is China. Friendly nation is free pick. I think I'm gonna go Austria-Hungary. Year will be 1915 if vanilla, or 1917 if NAR. Share designs always. Range between 20 and 30 kilometers, set it to 25. Weather in daytime is clear, and day unlock is off. Enemy task force: 2 battleships, 2 battlecruisers, 2 heavy cruisers, 4 light cruisers, 8 DDs. So yeah, that was 2 battleships, 2 battlecruisers, 2 heavies, 4 lights, 8 DDs. No torpedo boats. Always clear day. Now, what more is there to this challenge? Task force requirements. Your combined budget for all ships is 4 billion if you're playing in vanilla, or 3 billion if you're playing with NAR. Turns out rebuilding the ships in NAR made them a little bit cheaper. This is roughly the combined cost of the enemy task force. Your task force must have at least 1 capital ship, be it battleship or battlecruiser, and an escort of at least 2 cruisers, be they light or heavies, and 4 DDs. Your ships must have at least 20,000 kilometer operational range. This is not required for the DDs because, well, good luck getting that on a DD without just making some strange clown ship. You're free to add more ships of any type to your task force, as long as you do not exceed the total budget. Earning points. You earn 1 point for sinking the entire enemy task force. You can earn 1 additional point for every 10% you reduce your budget by. Battle timer is the tiebreaker. Also, if a couple of enemy DDs run away, because apparently that's what the AI likes to do now, we'll count it as a win. So, don't have to stress about hunting down every single last survivor. But I at least have to sink their capital ships and cruisers. Some of the others have already done this, and one of them had a enemy light cruiser run away, which was just impossible to find and catch, so we said that was okay too. Now then, let's design our ships. How many? We're just gonna start with this. I need 2 cruisers and 4 DDs as minimum, and we'll see how expensive they end up being, and if I need to, I can just go back out here and add more ships. Alright? Alright. So, seeing as I designed the enemy ships, I know what they look like. So, I made the designs. I said it was okay for the other ones to look at them too. Let's see, let's take a look at these ships here. Yeah, this one is the best one in terms of hull form, stability, and all that stuff. And it also has access to the best tower with regards to tower spotting. So I think we're gonna go with this hull for our battleships. Going with the smaller hulls could be an option, you know, to reduce cost. But mainly to make it cheap, I'm just gonna make it not very fast. Training 50. I did forget to add it to my to the challenge text, but that was also supposed to be a requirement. So I'm just gonna make it a requirement for myself. Let's make the beam smaller. I don't want to reduce draft because that reduces also the operational range. Let's stick it to 40,000 tons. Let's see what kind of funnelage we can fit here. 12,000 kilometers, that's not much. 23, that's enough. Actually, that's just straight up enough. I can't fit this one here, can I? No, of course not. That would be silly. If I add... there we go. 20,000 kilometer range. Just like that. Simple. Now. Guns. What to do with guns? This does not fit here. This fits here. Okay, so we're just gonna go with these barbettes. I think this one fits here also. And I think I want to go with 13s. Because the 13s can be Mark 3. That's not the case with anything bigger. Yeah, 14s are Mark 2, Mark 1, Mark 1. I can go all the way up to 18, but those are gonna be Mark 1s. And that's just not very bueno. There we go. Now let's see what we can do to make this not too expensive. If I go with geared turbines, it doesn't really add... it actually does not add that much cost. Yeah, it adds... 8 million? That's not much. So we're gonna go geared turbines for our battleship. Krupp cemented. Cost is going up here. Yeah, this is turning into something quite expensive. We're gonna see about making it possibly a little bit cheaper. What is the flash fire chance? 1.1. I need increased ammo. I think I'm just gonna stick with slow turrets. But I do need a good rangefinder, and I do want RDF. Now let's see about reducing this a little bit. Almost surprising that it's made turned into something so expensive. If I make it cheaper, it doesn't really do much. I might not pick many of these battleships. Now let's see here. 5 on the turret top. Let's go 15 on the turret sides. 15 main belt. 5, 5, 3, 1.5. And there we go. No longer overweight. Yeah, no longer overweight. Now that's oof, that's more heavy. That's lighter. Turn down my range. That made my range better. Cost is 600 million. And I do have a 4-weight offset. What are you on about now? You fit here. What? Is the game messing with me? It did fit here previously. There we go. It fit here, just... What? Let's do this again. Okay, now it fits. Put them back. Yeah, something like that. Move this back a little bit. Get some secondary guns. These are Mark IV, so that's what we're gonna use, and they are not too big, not too heavy. And they have good range, so they can deal with DDs. There we go. That's the battleship. 600 million. Now what's gonna be our budget? The total budget is 3 billion. Reducing it by 10% would give me an extra point. So that's 2.7. And I can reduce it by another one to 2.4. Or 2.1 billion. I think 2.1 is the ticket. Yeah, this is very expensive. Let's go with the battlecruiser. And we have only one hull available. That makes things simple. This one does need to be a little bit fast. Let's see here. 6,500 tower spotting. Yeah, this one is the best one. Let's see, tall funnel. Does it not fit a funnel here? Yeah, it does. We're gonna do again minus 4 actually on the beam. That improves our range by quite a bit. Now, what to arm this with? Are we once again gonna go with the 13s? I think so. Very simple ABXY layout. Actually, we're gonna go with 12s. Actually, let's do some comparison here. Triple 12 versus 13. Let's just get the barbette things and everything set up, so we can actually compare the weights. Give them roughly the same armor. $1,038. Okay, yeah, the double 13 is lighter than the triple 12. I don't think you have advanced triples in 1917, so triples are going to be noticeably less accurate. But there we go. We have the range. Let's not make these too expensive. But still somewhat survivable. If I can stick to less than 300 million, I'm gonna be happy. Now, armor. 14 is the maximum, yes. Might actually have to go a bit lighter on the fore and aft belts. 2-inch main deck. Still want some Citadel armor and some inner Citadel deck armor. It's not less than 300 million, is it? It is not. How about I reduce you down to 27,000? Range has dropped. How about we make it just kind of small? That ruined my range. Let's bump it up to 26. Put that tower back on. Actually, let's go with a cheaper tower. Cannot fit the funnel I was using. So let's not go with the cheaper tower. Overweight. 27 knots. and geared turbines saved a bit of weight. And the range is now good. Let's add some secondaries. Got a bit of a 4-weight offset. That can be fixed. It's not critical. Not gonna bother with casemates. Pilot is 322. Okay, now the cruisers. I need a minimum of 2 of these. Now which one to go with? I want to go with this one. Luitpold had a top speed of 20 knots, so I can just make these as slow as the battleships. Again, bump down the beam. Don't want to touch the draft, because that also ruins my my operational range. Okay, funnels. There we go. That's 20,000 kilometer range. And on standard turbines. Let's see. Barbets. Can go with these. They're not very nice to look at, but they are kind of cheap. I want to go with kind of big guns on these. 11 might be a lot for a cruiser. But if I have to bring 2 of them and they're just gonna follow the battleships, I should be able to, I should have a decent punch. Steam steering is actually fine, seeing as they're gonna follow the battleships. They're not gonna be doing too much like crazy maneuvering. These kind of standard. They do need increased shells. Flash fire chance. Dunite gives me lower chance. Flash fires, they can have slow turrets. That is fine. It's okay for armor. What's the maximum belt armor? 8 inches. Let's give them a decent conning tower. And quite a solid inner citadel. Oof, that broke the bank. It's 14,000 exactly. Now, what more to do with these? 150 million. If I give them gear turbines, 152 million. That's not a big difference, so we're gonna do that. It saved a little bit of weight. which we're gonna put into secondaries. Let's adjust some components. There we go. Everything is happy. Happy, happy. Amstetten. It's a cruiser. It's a very slow cruiser. But it's a cruiser. And I need 2 of them. 150 million. 153 point something. Now the DD, which I need 4 of. Let's turn down the beam first. I'm gonna go -5. Is that the only DD I have access to? Let's destroy it too. .50 resistance, 45. Okay, so the DD2 actually has better resistance. Make it slim. Keep the quarters cramped. Now this one is probably gonna need gear turbines just to not have a very heavy engine. Put the tower here. Rear tower, we only had one choice. That makes things easy. %80 engine efficiency, just like that. If I go forced, oh, I add another funnel and my weight goes down. So we're gonna do that instead of going forced. They did not have a range requirement, so I'm just gonna give them enough range to not... Actually, no, I'm gonna set the speed first. Duh. Can I do 38 knots? I can. Can I do 39? Or is that just gonna make things explode? Yes. Tiniest barbette. Tiniest barbette in the game. Maybe. Mark 4. 4-inch guns. Still what we're gonna rock. Torpedoes. Can I do that? Guess we're gonna find out. This will need unbalanced. Armor type doesn't really matter on the DD. I do want them to not just explode. Yeah, that is fine. Two powder pyric acid is fine. Torpedo size 20. Kind of torpedo range 4.9. 7.3. They might need good turret rotation. Okay, we are not overweight. So, triple bottom. skinny can I make you? Minus 8%. I can turn down the range. 7,000 kilometers. That means they might actually run out of fuel. So we're gonna bump it up to 9,000. 39 million. Let's call it 40. Let's add a little bit of armor. It can't have a lot of armor, but it can have some. $42.6 million. Okay, so the DD looks fine. The heavy cruiser looks fine. There's nothing I've forgotten. The battle cruiser looks fine. There's nothing I've forgotten. It has the range that it needs to have, as does the battleship. It is very, very expensive. Let's go minus 3.5. That made it overweight. Minus 3.2. Okay, let's just keep it at minus 3 then. I was just hoping I'd bring it down to less than 600 million, but no, there's nothing I've forgotten here either, by the looks of things. I guess potentially I could have made the guns longer or bigger, but already bumping my head into the weight ceiling, so that's not gonna happen. Now, I'm just gonna have to calculate some costs here, so I'm just gonna pause the recording while I play with my calculator. Okay, so I found that if I do 3 battlecruisers, 5 DDs, that gives me 2,092 million. So that's 8 million short of my goal, which is fine. Because 2.1 was the what I was shooting for. Okay, let's launch this battle and see what we can do. I only got one of the battleships because it turned out quite expensive. Probably could have built something much cheaper on some of these other dreadnoughts, but I didn't. So this is what we have. At least it's got a lot of guns, so it can just hang back and fire. All right, let's go. Yeah, these are the designs. The enemy heavy cruiser is a lot like mine, just not quite as slow. The enemy battleship is a lot like mine. It's got one less turret, but the guns are 13.5s instead of 13s. The enemy battlecruiser is built on the only battlecruiser hull available to the Chinese in that era, and it's kind of a stinker, but I tried to at least make it kind of interesting. The cruiser is fine. The DD is, well, basically what I built for myself. There's not really that much room for creativity with the DD. Okay. I'm gonna detach you. I'm gonna add you to the single DD here. Torpedoes off. Heavy cruisers, just follow the loot pulled. The mighty battleship. My battle cruisers will be kind of my maneuvering force. My DDs, I want to keep back to begin with. Because they don't have a lot of spotting range anyway. So it's not like they're gonna be very useful as scouts, and also it's daytime. So I might well just spot the enemy with my battleship or something. That's one of the reasons why I went with this hull, because it had access to kind of like a pagoda tower with very good tower spotting. Which means I probably will not be outspotted by the enemy. I guess I was outspotted, but not by much. No. Oh yeah, they got a bunch of light ships coming in. It's the DD swarm. Let's see, that's one down. I want to deal with these first. Then see if it's possible to move in with my DDs to attack the enemy capital ships. Now, I went with kind of a big force. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the most points. But I didn't really dare go with an absolute minimal budget. Okay, I can bring the battlecruiser in a little bit closer. Drops down to some kind of cruising speed. Okay, these are doing the conga thing. Oh, it disappeared. My battlecruisers are engaging some hidden enemy ships. You guys need to speed up. Be my scouts. That must be a battleship or battlecruiser. And Pilates already taking a hit. Oh yeah, found the swarm. Jesus Pilates. I want to clear away this swarm before going in with my DDs. Here is the, that is in fact an enemy light cruiser. It's got 6-inch guns and torpedoes. Not a whole lot of armor, but you can't really put that much armor on these ships anyway. That's in fact the whole enemy light cruiser squadron. Again, my own destroyers. I can just kind of hang back for now. They're not going to be too effective against the maneuverable light cruisers. They're just going to get killed. And while losing any ship does not detract points or anything, it's just that I think I'm gonna need my DDs to deal with the enemy battleships. There we go, that's probably a dead DD. Not quite. You can slow down to cruising speed. Get some more accuracy. You need to speed up. I just want my DDs to just not run completely away, be too far away to do anything. Can you guys just load HE with your main guns and not waste all the AP? So you're firing at DDs. Wu-Wei SD 4-inch main belt. Yeah, you can now go back to auto, I guess. There we go, that's one deadly light cruiser. Secondaries on the DD. That should work. Even more DDs. Kind of forgot about my battleship. Get some flooding hits on that light cruiser. Slow it down a little bit. You guys are just way far behind. Speaking of far behind, my own DDs. I could bring them in to brawl with the enemy DDs. What I'm worried about now is just expending all my ammunition trying to deal with these smaller ships. At least I'm getting closer to the enemy battleships, so that's something. This single light cruiser proven very hard to kill. Okay, I think that was the end of the enemy destroyers. Now let's try to actually go engage the battleships. No, there's the light cruiser. Finally, a flooding hit. Now it's gonna slow down and become easier to kill. I think that might be it. And there's another DD. I thought I killed all of them. Are you dead yet? Yes, you are dead. Okay. Now it's just the enemy capital ships left. So at least we won't have to worry about any enemy light ships running away. Now it's just a matter of catching the battleships. Now, Pilates, you have taken a little bit of damage. So you're going to detach. And you're actually going to join the battleship. Because you're kind of slow. Now here's the enemy battle fleet. Gonna do it like that, I guess. Heavy cruisers, you can focus the battle cruisers. You might actually be able to deal with them. Now, let's try and bring the DDs in, kind of behind them. I haven't seen the enemy heavy cruisers yet. These are the battle cruisers by the looks of it. Yeah. Let's see. See if we can make this work. Oh, I see fire from the heavy cruisers. D3 has launched. D1 has launched. And Orion has launched. Now let's just detach all of them. And have them not just sail in a straight line. Like behind one another, because that leads to a lot of unintended hits. There we go, scoring torpedo hits. Wuhan, Hefei, up. Do not mess about. I saw it was doing the thing where it tries to retreat to the back of the formation. Torpedoes away from D4. Are any of these gonna hit? I don't know. But all my DDs got away. And they are alive. Kind of forgot about my capital ships. There we go, scoring 3 torpedo hits on that one. Okay, let's reorganize my DDs. Bring them in, have them reload, and then get ready for another torpedo run later. What's that? Heavy cruiser? Yeah, I think I made my my cheap battleship that ended up being really expensive. I made it slow so it would be cheap. It turned out to not be the best idea. Because now the capital ships of the enemy are just running away. No, they are not running away. They're coming back. Okay. You are kind of crippled. You're gonna detach. You're kind of crippled. You're gonna detach. So this is the cripple squadron. Well, these ones are more or less operational. Odeon D1 and D4. In fact, I want my battlecruisers to just start dealing with the enemy heavy cruisers. Now the enemy ships didn't take that much damage from my torpedo run. Scored 6 torpedo hits. And both of these have damaged rudders. Target 1 each. Are you firing HE? Oh, you're on to AP now. Let's see. And the heavy cruisers disappeared from sight again. pen am I getting at 14 kilometers? 11.5. It's not really enough. Should have made my guns like 0.5 inches bigger and 10% longer. That would have helped my penetration. Okay, my destroyers have been detected. Let's pick out some targets. One ship each. They should be in range, but I am running slow torpedoes. All launching. They're all out of torpedoes, so these DDs really hold no more value for me. Am I gonna get any hits out of this? Oh yeah. 3 torpedo hits on the battleship, 4 on the battlecruiser Wuhan. Another one dodging. Dodging seems to have fixed most of the flooding, and now went dark again. Need my cruisers to go start killing the enemy cruisers. Let's actually just deal with the cruisers first, then go back to deal with the battleships and battlecruisers. They really like running away. Brother Monroe suggested that this is the AI attempting to get to the optimal range. They probably figured out that, hey, they get quite a bit of deck penetration. Well, not even that much at super long range. So that's what they're trying to accomplish. It's kind of dumb. It's kind of annoying, but that's what it is. It's not really something we can do much about. This happens in both Naval Arms Race and Vanilla, so it's not an issue with the mod. Am I gonna get some more torpedo action in this battle? So far, it's been pretty good. 14 torpedo hits. Didn't do a whole lot of damage, but it's still 14 torpedo hits. There we go, actually scoring a floating hit on, not gonna pronounce it. The battleship. Drop down to cruising speed. Let's kill that heavy cruiser, or at least attempt to kill it. Orion D2. Torpedoes are ready. Oof. Loot pulled. Took a big one. Let's kill Wuhan. Wuhan is kind of hurting right now. Wuhan and Daijing. Are the closest to being dead. There we go, actually dealing with the enemy heavy cruiser, which is nice. If only you could fix your rudder. Do you not have any like spare parts or something? Aboard? Let's deal with the battle cruisers first and foremost, because they have less armor and they actually have more guns. Let's actually bring you in for a look at the Wuhan class battle cruiser. It's got 14-inch guns, but they are only Mark II. On the center line. And it's actually got 11-inch wing turrets. But it doesn't have a whole lot of armor, and on its own the tower spotting is crap. Even with the best tower I could fit on it, it's... yeah. But that's the only battlecruiser hull China has available in 1915 or 17. The battleship is a bit better. The Gokwan SD class. It's run out of ammo actually. It's got Mark III 13.5s. Very decent armor. And good stuff all around. I can increase speed a little bit here. Now, Orion D2. Torpedoes away. Orion D3. My last DD with torpedoes. Oh, actually scoring torpedo hits. Very nice. On Wuhan. Let's see, the heavy cruisers are doing their stuff. Actually, they can start just lobbing HE on the battleships. It's not going to do much because we're playing Naval Arms Race. And HE is not that good. But we can at least do it until the HE runs out. Then go with AP against the battle cruisers. Now, I want to see if I can get a little bit closer. Before launching. And we have launch. Ooh, very nice. 3 hits, one of which was a dud, and even scored 1 on dodging. And now, the enemy battleships are doing the formation thing. At least it looked like it for a second there. And bring the heavy cruisers in a little bit closer. Now, Pilates, you can actually detach and try and go a little bit faster. Might be not quite capable of hitting your top speed of 27 knots, but you're definitely faster than Luitpold. Schwarzenberg and Stephanie have caught up to the enemy battle line. And are putting rounds into the belts of the enemy battlecruisers. Now, switch to the battleships. Heavy cruisers, switch to the enemy battlecruisers. I want you to load AP. Try and go through that belt. Got some flooding hits. And I think Daijing is gonna sink. Yeah, you switched places in the formation. But you just can't figure out which is the one to lead. Which means I'm just gonna detach you. No more formation. There we go. First battleship down. Luitpold fallen way behind. Here comes Pilates from the other side. Wuhan went down. I think we're gonna do it. It's loud. Cruisers have no more main gun ammo left. Battlecruiser's kind of low on ammo too. This one's really coming down to down to the wire. These are some pretty tough battleships I built. You can slow down now, Pilates. Even Luitpold is catching up. All the flooding on the enemy ships have made them slow enough that even the Luitpold is catching up. She spent most of her ammo just plinking away at long range. Now we can reduce speed. Is that the end of the roadblock? No, she's got the flooding under control. Schwarzenberg. Almost out of AP. %. Can actually switch the Heifei. Got a good hit chance from Pilates. We do score a flooding hit, which might have been the last one we needed. 2%, 1%, 2%. Ah, they fixed it. %. 1, 0.8, 0.5, sinking. Come on, you got 4 rounds left, Pilates. Make him count. She made them count. So yeah, that was 4 hours, 22 minutes in game. And the whole enemy task force sunk. So that's 1 point. plus 3 for reducing my budget from 3 billion down to 2.1. So 4 points. Yeah. That was a long one. That was a very long Shipyard Champions episode. But yeah, that was quite something. No, not gonna play it again. What we are gonna do is, just before ending the episode, just gonna take a quick look into the share design thing. And go to 1917 and just give you a quick show and tell of the ships we just fought. Guoquan SD, the battleship design. As you can see, quite tanky. 13.5-inch guns with 8% longer barrel length. 2 powder and TNT, so that's why only 2.8% flash fire chance, even with Barbette 2. Regular crew, decent range, a little bit faster than Luitpold, but not very fast. Then it's the, but yeah, the battleships, quite good ships, I would say. Battle cruisers, maybe not so much. I made all of these ships in a way that if someone wants to use them as shared designs in a campaign, they are perfectly suited for that. I made this one with a slightly higher flash fire chance because, well, I thought that might be funny. None of them exploded though, so there's that. Heavy cruiser, kind of typical of my heavy cruiser designs. This one I also gave good range, and even... No, you can't give them in Naval Arms Race. You can't give them the thing to kill submarines with. But the light cruisers do have that. These ones make kind of fast. I ran out of displacement, otherwise I would have given them more range, seeing as they are light cruisers. Depth charges, that's what they have. So if you want to use them in a campaign, they can kill submarines. And lastly, the DD, which is kind of, well, nothing special. It's a lot like my own DDs in that mission. Again, decent range, so you can use it in a campaign, as well as depth charges and Minehunter. And yeah, that's it. Tense battle, kind of close. I just wish the AI just wouldn't be such a coward and retreat all the time. So kind of an attempt at some aggression with their DDs and light cruisers, but they just kind of got a little bit closer, but not all the way in to actually torpedo my ships. But yeah, that's it. That's this week's Shipyard Champions. I hope you enjoyed, and let's see how the other admirals did. Some of them have already played it at the time of this recording, and they did have problems with the enemy just running away. So we'll see. Goodbye, and take care.